Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music. And today is the return of Fantasy Star. It's been a while. I don't know if this is the first time I do four though. It might be a debut. I could be wrong, but this is Fantasy Star 4, and we're gonna be listening to Laughter and Rune from the channel Project Mega Rips. This is requested by Croy Potts and Jason. Apparently, according to this screen, it's Izuho Numata, 1993, the Sega Mega Drive or the Genesis. That's exciting. I didn't even know that until just now. So I love Sega Genesis music. So cool. Let's just get right into it. It's been a while, Fantasy Star, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what it sounds like. But here we go. It's kind of metal AF. Ooh. Why is this called Laughter? That sounds so maniacal. Laughter? Oh. Feels like I'm in a tunnel or something. The rhythm has not changed once. And then it goes up. That up feels very uncomfortable. It's like suspended hard. And I think it releases here. Oh, that's weird. In a good way. Drums sound great too. I have two things in my mind right now. Let me look up what this game looks like. Hold on. I wonder why it's spelled like that. Maybe just to stand out. Like a stylistic choice. That's a pretty cool looking cover. The explosive finale. Oh, it's a turn-based RPG? Oh, wait a minute. This is Sega. Oh, I think I know why this was a big deal. Is Phantasy Star like Sega's like RPG series type of thing? It's almost over. That's beautiful. Just to give you like a quick idea, really quick, that's what it looks like. Which looks like, of course, some of the games I've played recently, like Wild Arms, Chrono Trigger, Legend of Dragoon, FF. But now that I think about it, I was like, wait a minute. All those things I mentioned are like, well, besides Legend of Dragoon, were like Nintendo. Like, I think of RPGs, I think of Nintendo. So maybe, I think it's coming together now, actually. Phantasy Star must be like the answer or the flagship RPG series, I guess. Or JRPG, I should say. What the hell was that? That sounded crazy, intense. I mean, I have like a slight bias towards Genesis sounds. It's got like this just beautiful, incredible sound chip that I think really has pronounced bass and percussions in it. It sounds like lasers. I can't explain it, but it just sounds like everything's firing off. But this reminded me of two things immediately. The first one reminded me of Tim Fallen, like from Plock, which I reacted to here. Like if you listen to Plock, I think it was like the only Plock video I've done. I'm pretty sure. It sounds a lot like that kind of energy of just worry and what's going on around me. And then the other thing it reminded me of in a similar fashion is the series of songs called First Warning, Second Warning, and Third Warning from Lobotomy Corporation, where, again, just that feeling of worry and like we're like drawing near a close, something like that, like the timer's running out. It feels very stress inducing, like the song is leading up to another one, or you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just that's why I said tunnel. Like it just seems like a really like it can loop infinitely until like you get it done type of thing. But now that I'm seeing it's a just like it looks like a turn-based JRPG. That's a pretty cool soundtrack for a turn-based RPG. That's unlike any JRPG I've heard so far. I think. Well, let me rephrase that. But like from this era. I see these like little blue menus with HP and magic and all that, and I don't hear that. I hear this with like a first-person shooter or something, and it's called Laughter. What the hell? Maybe you laugh because of how nervous you become. It's pretty crazy, but this video has 0 likes, so I'm the first. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you saw that. See, 30 views on this. I can't wait to hear the second one. But yeah, that was cool. Like, I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember what Phantasy Star sounds like. I've heard bits and pieces here and there from different games. Maybe it's been around a long time. There's at least 4 of them. But I don't remember ever giving me that feeling of, electronic, worrisome sounds. But that sounded great. I don't know Zuhu Nomada. I don't know what else they've done, but the whole thing was just cool. That sounded awesome. It sounded like a Sega to me, and there's a part of me that wishes it kind of came back. It's kind of, I don't know. It's sad to see that it's just like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo now. That's it. And well, I guess Steam. It'd be cool to like always. I wish Sega never went away. So that's it. And now they're just a game company, which is cool. I'm just saying, I liked their. I don't want to say I like their consoles because I didn't like experience them, but I just like them being a console company. I guess that's the only way I can put it. They felt more on top. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this one is called Rune. This one's way shorter, and this is Wasaki Nakagaki. This one has 1 like already, so here's 2. Boop. 32 views. I think it has two songs, Rune and Thray, but it says Rune up here. Okay, let's get into it. I don't know what to expect here. Will it sound similar, or will it sound like its own thing? Rune. Phantasy Star 4, let's go. Totally different. Just imagining this sound with a JRPG sounds so foreign to me. I gotta look up more. Developed and published by Sega. Oh, that's Sega keyboard. So this is the finale of the Algol star system. It is considered one of the greatest video games of all time? It's Wikipedia. This game was released on my birthday. Where does this play? It's like a town theme? I feel like I've asked this before, but now it's coming back to me. That sound is so good. That's like the most Sega sounding thing I've ever heard. Like that sound of the chip. That sounds cool. It sounds like a trumpet, like a MIDI trumpet. My curiosity just like shot up tenfold. It's not always I look up stuff either. You know, if I'm curious, I'll just be like, oh, okay. It's funny because I didn't start doing that until recently, and by recently I keep a couple months maybe. But that's because after episode 1000, I told myself to stop taking notes. I used to have a notepad. It's still right there, but I had a little notepad, and then I would just write down my thoughts throughout the video. No harm done, but it was slightly distracting, and I felt like I felt too obligated to like write something down. You know what I mean? I wanted it to just the reaction to be as natural as possible, and whatever happens, happens. So it's been at least 200 episodes since I've done that, and now it's just like keeping stuff in my brain as long as I can and trying to relive it. But I noticed, you know, since I don't know what the term is, but like I'm kind of like fidgety. I can't just like stay still, especially if I'm listening to music. I'm like trying to find things to do. I'm like always twirling a pen or something, or I'll play with my hair tie. And my phone's always right here, so I started, not always, but you know, sometimes I'll Google. I'm like, oh, let's see what's this game is about. And the reason for that is just I like to not know things, because blindly guessing is just as fun for me, because it's a 50-50, right? You're either pretty close or you're pretty wrong. And you never know when that information is going to be relevant again. Like, say I play this or something, and I can be like, oh, so that's what happens. You know, it's happened a few times, right? And yeah, so this is the first time that I recall, at least at this moment, looking up what Phantasy Star looked like. I had no idea what it was. I thought it was more like a space shooter or something. That's the vision I had in my head. But I looked it up, and it just straight up looks like one of those like 90s JRPGs, you know, top down, blue menus, turn based, and then that's when my brain went, wait, Sega. You know, when I think that stuff, I think of the PlayStation or the Super Nintendo or Nintendo, not Sega. But then again, I was way too young at that time. So either so how was it really? Did both systems have like their fair share of RPGs, or was that like dominated by Nintendo and that was like one of their things, and Sega just kind of like dipped their toes into it? Because I feel like I've asked this before. I don't know where, but it sounds like something I would have asked. But how many series of RPGs like came from the Sega? That sounds really interesting to me now because that didn't sound like I would never guess a JRPG sound ever, especially that era. When I think of those screenshots, I sort of have a head. I sort of have a idea. Yasunori Matsuda, Nobuo Matu, that kind of sound, and others. So hearing this like electronic stuff, the Sega sound, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. This one, I don't even know. No idea. It's called Rune. I'm guessing it has to be a overworld or some town, but the feeling of it was just, I don't know, had this kind of beat and these like trumpet sounds. I don't know. I just all this really did for me was just make me nostalgic for the Sega Genesis sound chip because I grew up with it, and it's some of you have to understand this sound, the sound of the Sega is what kind of like brought me here. It developed my young brain into liking not even video game music, but music. I was a little kid when the Sega Genesis was out, and some of the earliest memories of sounds that I have are from that. Hearing Mortal Kombat's theme song on the Sega Genesis, hearing Sonic 1, Shinobi, all that, just those sounds are in my head. So it's cool that I get to still experience it in new ways, all these years later. And now I find out it's an RPG, which was completely foreign to me up until maybe like 2 years ago. And now I mostly play RPGs. So it's this weird full circle moment. I don't know. I don't want to guess what those are, but I'm sure the requester will tell me. But that was sick. And I need to check out more Phantasy Star. And I want to know why it's considered one of the best video games of all time. I know it's Wikipedia, but that's still a bold statement. Do we agree with that? Am I living under a rock? Because I feel like I've heard of this title, but not to that extent. I don't know. I feel like I might open the floodgates here. Anyways, thank you, Jason and Croy. Thank you to my Patreon members, Platinum members. You for watching. Long live the Sega Genesis sound. Peace, everybody.